Hello, awakened beings. Welcome to this channel. Here I do tarot and oracle readings to support you along your spiritual journey. If that interests you, feel free to check out any other content on this channel as well as interact with this video as you feel called to. Today's reading is for anyone who is seeking guidance regarding their inner child. The intention behind this video is to connect you, to any type of healing regarding the inner child, maybe seeking ways to play, to be more curious, to address some things, and allow your energy to become more lighter as you hear these messages so that you can live more in fulfillment with what you are desiring. So, if that interests you, if that's something you're looking for, then stick around. But I was just intuitively guided to do this reading, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, this is for anyone. This is not a zodiac reading, okay? All right, so tuning into the viewers here, what does their inner child need to say to them? I feel like humming. But like, it feels very like soulful humming. It's not like humming like very playful and curious. It feels very soulful. So maybe humming something that like a parent or guardian, grandma, somebody, ancestral or, a care provider. It just seems like a song or a melody that's like ingrained, that feels very comforting and connected to the soul. So I don't know. There's some ancestors coming up in this reading as well. Who knows? Okay. So we got Seven of Pentacles, all right? And so this card is, hold on. There's a lot of fire going on here with the Earth card. And we also have King of Wands and the Lovers. I feel like you could be interacting with a person that you feel very strongly about, but I feel like it's got some challenges because with the Seven of Pentacles, this is kind of like, are things growing and developing the way that you want them to? Also, King of Wands, if you're not interacting with another person and this is about you, it just kind of is like, is your fire or potential, like, are you at where you want to be? Are you developing and growing where you want to be? So I feel like there's this space of like, it doesn't feel stagnant, but it just kind of feels like, a little more evaluative of like, you have room for more, but it's not, yeah, you have room for more. There's no like but or anything, I guess. Not at this time. All right, let's see what else is going on. Ace of Pentacles. Let's get some oracle. Rewind and reset. Okay. So there's something, this almost kind of feels like a tower moment. Either you've experienced a tower moment or you're contemplating a tower moment. Yeah, you know what? So with the Seven of Pentacles, this is on the typical card, this is somebody who's growing their garden and they stop to kind of look at what they've grown and like if it's worth it. Like if the investment is worth like the losses and stuff. So they're weighing their pros and cons, and also they're evaluating if they're satisfied with the current situation or what is being produced. And so with this Ace of Pentacles, it almost feels like, kind of cutting a tree down or like cutting that down to be able to start over and regrow. And so you do have this rewind and reset. So I feel like, there's something in your life, whether it's just you or involves another person, but I feel like, you could benefit from, yeah, literally rewinding and resetting. I don't know what that looks like for you though. I'm trying to tune in a little more. For some of you, I feel like the element of fire is on your side because, like I said, this feels very fiery for an earth card. And then we also had King of Wands. So I feel like maybe some passion and motivation, inspiration are things that can help you just kind of feel motivated to cut your losses where you need to. And also put in more where you need to. So it's almost like for some of you watching, you could, some of the losses outweigh the pros, I guess, or the gains. And so you need to kind of cut down, burn it down, start over with a fresh idea, fresh outlook with this Ace of Pentacles. But for some of you, like I was saying a moment ago, like there's more space. And so you could just be adding more things, adding new things to it, to your garden. So it's almost like sometimes we need like a change of scenery, a change of, environment, change of people, change of, sometimes we need that, but also other times we just need just something to just refresh it, And that's what I see with this Ace of Pentacles. So, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But I do kind of feel like you could be like in this mundane space where things are just kind of a little more repetitive or predictable, perhaps, and you just need like a little spice. And that can come in the form of Ace of Pentacles, where you're just planting a new seed or starting to put your energy into something different. And that's allowing you to feel like a new spark because it's like, it's not so mundane. Now you actually have to think, or you actually have to be intentional, right? I don't know. Okay. We have Seven of Cups. Oops. And this is about, focus and possibilities. Let's get a card on this. Carry hope. So this is telling me that your inner child is guiding you or like reminding you that you have more than one option. You don't have to focus. Like if you have a garden, you don't need to keep growing rosemary. Rosemary is nice and all that, but you have more space in the garden to also grow roses or lilies and peppers, I don't know, just metaphorically speaking. So it's just kind of like with this Seven of Cups, it seems like maybe you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but you have the potential to expand that or explore something different. Especially if something didn't turn out the way that you thought it would, okay? Because with this Carry Hope card, I do feel like maybe something that you were growing and investing in just kind of lost its flair, lost its fire, okay? So maybe it's not, growing under the right conditions or, something like that. Maybe it needs, I don't know, a different environment because we have the earth element here. But it also can it just needs something to be a little bit more engaging, I feel like. Like I'm getting this energy of like dullness. Okay. So yeah, anyways, going back to the Seven of Cups, I feel like, this is communicating that something you may have been investing in is not, giving the returns that you hoped for, or is not growing and developing the way that you'd hoped for, but you do have other options. You do have room and capacity to grow something else, possibly somewhere else. Okay, it's, take it how it resonates. Okay, we have protection. Call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. Yeah, I definitely feel like I was getting that from the Seven of Pentacles, because on in this deck, this one, the Santa Muerte one, the Seven of Pentacles, it has somebody who is actually, I might be mistaken, but either way, how it's coming up in my mind is like there's this growth, but then the person is like chopping it down because they feel like it's no longer worth it. So with this, we even have cut the cord, soul retrieval. So I do feel like sometimes if you see that something is going downhill, that it's okay to pull away before, seeing it crash and burn. Not saying that's going to be your situation, but like, I know for me, I'm more of a ride or die type of person. I have a lot of integrity, so if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I want to see it all the way through. But sometimes if you ride it all the way through, then you lose more of yourself than you would have if you had gotten off the ride sooner, if that makes sense. So that's a message there for somebody. Okay. All right, now we have Knight of Wands. What else is going on? Okay, I was like, come on now. You hold the key, Knight of Wands. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is about, movement, right? Fiery movement, passionate movement, and really having that. So I do see that if you, take the steps to kind of rejuvenate yourself, especially here with this carry hope, I feel like there's something out there that's going to be, that's just going to spark you and you're going to start moving towards it. And so I would say what I'm getting from this is like, instead of sitting around and kind of investing in the same thing, it's almost like, somebody who planted a seed and keeps watering it and doing their best to make it grow, but it's just not growing. That's what showed up in my mind. And so with this card here, I just feel like, one, know when to call it quits, right? But two, also, if you just lift your head up and look around, then you'll see, things that are more available to you, or like you'll see the other options. So with Seven of Cups, sometimes people can get like, what is it called? Laser focused with Seven of Cups. But when you pull back your vision a little bit, then you're able to see, more possibilities. And so I feel like possibility is allowing you to have that spark that I wasn't really getting in the beginning, because then you're excited about like, ooh, what's that, or oh, I can try that, or so yeah, it's almost like being optimistic about the future. Anything else with this Knight of Wands? And then with this You Hold the Key card, it's giving a little magician energy. So Knight of Wands is action, movement, investment of energy, right? And so being intentional. And so with this You Hold the Key card, it's definitely like you have the choice in where you're going and what you do. You don't have to sit idly by and wait for, somebody to hand you something. You have to, kind of put yourself out there. Spirit just said what you get is what you deserve. I do not know how that's going to resonate, okay? But the way that I understand it is, it's they're communicating something about you get what you deserve. Oh, it's more about your self-worth. So if you're feeling like this, then this is, what you're going to get handed. If you're more optimistic and, ambitious and things like that and feel like you're deserving of more, then that's what you're going to get. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Because, yeah, I definitely, again, earlier I picked up with the Seven of Pentacles of that there's room for more. So as long as you see that for yourself, that you're deserving of more, you're deserving of options and things like that, then then your mindset and your behaviors align with more of the Knight of Wands as somebody who's more seeking and more, ambitious. And that's where we got this. You hold the key. Okay, love it. One more for the Knight of Wands. Seeing the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Okay. I do feel this energy of like with this one of this message of like being kinder to yourself. Because this is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. And so, and if you look at her, she's very just kind of nurturing. She's got her arms out as to like welcome and, hug or hold space for her children or, the people down here. So I definitely feel like there's a message here of like, being more compassionate to yourself, being more gentle and forgiving of your decisions and, what you have been doing so far, forgiving the past version of you who made certain decisions, who had certain behaviors, who, decided to spend time on certain things, engaging in certain things. But also we have a snake here. So I do feel like it's time for you to kind of shed that skin, shed that layer of who you were, and just acknowledge that you have a future. There's always a future. There's a future every second. Every second that ticks away, we're in the future. Okay, so yeah, with this Knight of Wands, I just definitely feel like and with all these other cards here that I'm mixing around, sorry. I just feel like, bring some compassion into your day-to-day life, some compassion for yourself, your relationships, and things like that. What you're growing, what you're investing in, ultimately. Okay. Let's go ahead and give you your self-care card, and then that'll be it for your reading here. Okay, so you got, what am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? Are you looking for more guidance, confidence, peace, wisdom, love, or something else? When we search outside of ourselves, we can become overwhelmed, frustrated, and never feel quite good enough. It's time to go inward to find everything you seek. All the answers you need lie within you. Today's soul action. Breathe in your favorite essential oil. Inhale deeply into your belly. Drop your shoulders and spend some time hanging out with your soul today. Ask for what you need and be ready for the answers. Okay. All right. That says it. That is your reading. Again, general messages. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That was inner child guidance. So, yeah, I definitely feel, just to reiterate real quick, I definitely feel like your inner child is guiding you to kind of just seek more for yourself and be more compassionate towards yourself and loving. And also your inner child is letting you know that it's time to forgive and shed certain layers, leave certain things behind, cut cords to things. And that is your protection towards a brighter future. Knight of Wands. Okay. All right. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck on your journey. Ashe.